Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be starting a new series, which is going to be all about property investing. And I think the series name is going to be Property Investment Club or something along that line. But if you guys have a better name in mind, please let me know in the comment section below. And maybe we'll rename this whole series, I don't know. So in today's video, we're going to be covering something that is a bit more personal and that I don't even know if I should share it or not, because some people find it awkward in our society to talk about money. And I just thought that, I'd rather just be honest and open about my finances, because that's the type of channel that I want to create. Just a quick disclaimer, guys, that firstly, I'm not sharing this information to brag or to rub it in your face, or I don't think that I'm better than anyone. Point number two is, this is by no means financial advice. Guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I am not going to give you any advice in this clip that you should go and do. This video is just for education purposes only. Okay, with all of that behind us, I think we can get started with this video. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so let me give you a bit of background information. How was I able to accumulate so much wealth in such a small time? And it probably started when I was 6 or 7 years old. When I was younger, I was taught my parents to save up every month, as parents should do to the children. So they always told me that I should save about 10% of my income. Obviously 6 or 7, you can't calculate 10%, but by the age of 14, which is grade 8, I amassed about 20,000 or 30,000 rand. Okay, grade 8 and 9, grade 8 to 9, 14 to 15 was a very quiet year, but from grade 9, I started having like a entrepreneurial awakening or something, because I've been taught, my parents are like business people. Everyone in my family thinks about business and they speak about business openly. From grade 9 onwards, I knew that, listen, I had a bit of a salary from my parents, like 1,000 rand every month, because I was living in hostel. So I knew that I needed to make a bit of extra money. And the way I did this was, I basically just sold stuff in the hostels, sold packets of chips. I walked around at night and I would sell cool drinks, that type of stuff. Okay, so come grade 11, matric. This is when things started going well for me. So I started a business with my dad and my brother, selling cars. So from there, we sold about like 14 or 50 cars, and from this my wealth grew exponentially until like 120,000, right? Also, unfortunately, my grandma passed away and her inheritance also played a part in this. So then my wealth grew up to 150,000. So it was a period of saving and then a period of like hustling from grade like 9 to 12, and that was how the majority of the money was made. So let me show you now the properties that I invested in. Okay, so let me show you property number 1. Okay, bear in mind, this was while I was 19, 20 years old, and I still didn't have enough capital, but I was looking around for property. This place, I was starting to look for property. I was on Property 24 and I was browsing properties, which you should do. So I saw this place, right? This place was going for 336,000. So my first instinct was, let me go for a home loan. Let me try and go to the bank. I went to the bank, and as dumb as I can be, I went and I applied which it took a while. It took like 6 or 7 months, because your first property is always like the most difficult to get, in my opinion. And at the time, prime interest rate was around 7.5%. So I went to the bank alone, and I was 19 years old. I had no credit score, nothing. And I asked them for a loan. I was like, listen, okay, I want to put 150,000 down, okay, as a deposit, or like 120,000 plus the transfer costs, that type of stuff. And they come back to me and they say, okay, listen, we want to give you a loan, okay, but because you don't have like a credit score, any of that stuff, we are going to ask you 11.5% or 12%, something like that, something crazy. And luckily I was not that dumb to accept that type of financing, because 11% is a hell of a lot. It's really like a lot of money. Listen, let me go to someone I know, a family member. So I went to my mom. It's like, Mom, please help me with a loan. I'll pay you back just like as if you were the bank. I would, obviously I was lucky in this instance, and I got a rate of 8%. Boom. Okay, the first place. And I think, listen, let me just wait a bit before I buy another property. I don't have cash, whatever. And then the second deal shows up, right? And the second deal, unfortunately, I can't find the link to it, but Okay, so I got the first deal for 295,000 rand. It was 340,000, okay? The second deal, like one of the best deals that I've seen, and this went up for sale for 468. All of the other apartments that are similar to it in the same street go for like 600, 700,000. And I bought this place. It was listed for 400, first listed for like 500 and something thousand, 550,000, and I got it for 430,000 rand. That was the second deal. Okay, the second deal was much easier. I went into like a combined deal with my sister, and I said, listen, let's go half, and then obviously I went to go get a loan. And luckily this time, because I got all of those things in place, and I knew like the ropes, I knew what they wanted to ask, I knew like the route to go, and not to like apply by myself, but rather to like apply through like a home loan agent and stuff like that, okay, which I'll obviously share in another video. And I got a crazy rate, man. I got like a rate, like prime was 7.5. I think I got my first application, I got a rate of 7.4 or 7.2%. So they gave me like below prime, which is incredible. Like that's just next level. So this happened within a period of 2 years, and it just shows to you like what is possible if you just put your mind to something. I mean, I started from nothing, and then, you know, I built everything up. So I hope I inspired you perhaps, and showed you that, you know, you can also try and like achieve the same thing. And not everyone's goal is the same. Like I told you in the beginning of the video, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just here to like share my experience with things. And you know, it's really difficult for me to like talk about these things openly, because I'm not used to it. I mean, it's not a normal thing in our culture to tell people about money, because you come across as being arrogant. In this series, for the next few videos, I'm going to make a lot of videos about properties and how I was able to buy these properties, and like give you practical examples and practical advice, because I mean, not everyone gives practical advice. If you've got any questions regarding this, like please don't be afraid to ask me in the comment section. You know, I would be happy to help you with any questions you have. But I think this about wraps up the video, and I hope I gave you guys some valuable advice with regard to like how I was able to do it. Please subscribe if this video was sort of interesting for you, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.